And I've spoken before about the Cartier Love bracelets and the Van Cleef pieces. Do I like them? Yes. Would I buy them? No. Really quickly before we get started, I wanted to come on here and let you know that I've got another Farfetch coupon code. Gets you 12% off, including the top I'm wearing in this. Works for men and women, and it expires this week. Hey everyone, welcome to another video, and if you are new, hello to you as well, and thank you for watching. As well as to my regulars, thank you for all watching as well. Let's talk about distinguished, elegant, classy bags that are worth you thinking about, particularly if you're not into big logos actually, because there's a question mark over whether big logos, are they classy? Is a big logo a distinguished, elegant piece? Or actually is it more garish, more flashy, more in your face? And as part of this video, I'm going to talk about whether social media has had a detrimental effect on the Hermes Birkin, the Kelly and the Chanel Classic flap. So I'll talk about that as we get into it, because that was just a thought that came into my mind, and I thought, I'm going to ask you what you think. Because I think that social media might have had a detrimental effect on those brands, but we'll discuss as we go. So in my opinion, the first most elegant, classic, understated designer bag, it has to be from the brand called Lorna. Lorna has been going since I think the 1950s, definitely the 1960s. And in fact, they're so well known, even all the way back then, for their quality, that they were actually used by Gucci at the time to make Gucci's bags, because they were that, their quality was that good. And they self-confess to not be very good at their own marketing. So that's why they're not a brand that you hear loads of, but I think in being like that, it's created an exclusivity around the product. The other thing that makes it really distinguished and really, really top end is that actually, for not the highest price in the world, you can get yourself a completely custom bag. You can go on there and custom design every aspect of each of their bags. You can change the colors of things, like you can have the flap different to the body of the bag, different to the side of the bag. Their bags come with a little compact mirror that slides in on the inside, and it's got the Queen's royal stamp on it as well. Now, Lorna is also a brand that it was one of the only brands that the Queen ever used to carry, and that dates all the way back to I think the 70s from memory, when she discovered the brand. It was just one that she started using and she stuck with it. And Lorna saw a really big rise in sales after the Queen's Jubilee, but also after her sad passing in September, early September. And they always had quite a long lead time, because if you imagine, every piece, even wallets, they're handmade to you. So you're not going to get these bags quick. It's not like some of the designer brands where they've just got stock out of the back. These are true luxury. So right now, I actually ordered one in September, which loads of you helped me with, and thank you, because I wasn't sure on the colour. And I'm not going to get that until January 23, because that is their backlog right now. So very desirable. Doesn't have a huge recognisable logo on it, but that shape of bag is beautiful in my opinion. They've got all different shapes, but this is my favourite shape and my favourite size. Louis Vuitton capucines. This does have a logo on the front of it, but that logo, because it's worked into the actual bag itself, the V, so you've got the leather that goes along and then it cuts down into the actual V of the LV logo. And when I look at the bag, I feel that although it's got that logo on it, the way they've designed the bag somehow takes the edge off that logo and makes it not quite so garish. And that's the key here. When you're buying a distinguished, elegant bag, it is very much, in my opinion, about logos. That's what I think helps with Hermes, is that everyone knows it's an Hermes bag, but there's not a big logo on it, except with the, is it called the Evelyn bag? That's got the big H on the front of it. But aside that, the other bags don't, and that's what makes them classy. While we're talking about Hermes, here's the thing that got me thinking about this. On social media, sometimes when you have products that get overexposed, to me, don't know about how many of you agree, and feel free to disagree, you know, these are just my opinions, but sometimes I feel that they have a detrimental effect on the exclusivity of the product themselves, and therefore does it impact your desirability for them? And I've spoken before about the Cartier Love bracelets and the Van Cleef pieces. Do I like them? Yes. Would I buy them? No. Because the money, they are expensive. Yes, they hold their value, so they're good investment pieces. But when it comes to those pieces, I find that the exclusivity has gone, because I see them everywhere. And all you have to do is go onto Instagram. Now on my Instagram, I don't know what's going on, but my Instagram's full of seals. You heard it right, seals. When I'm scrolling, I'm not actually really seeing content from any of the people I follow. It's all seal videos and people petting them. They're very cute, but I don't know why it's showing it to me. But I also saw a couple of days ago, like a picture on an account on Instagram selling fake Van Cleef arpels and fake Cartier Love bracelets. And they're just everywhere. And they look like the real thing, and they're just everywhere. So for me, it's lost its exclusivity. Has the same thing happened with Hermes? You know, if you go back, say 5 years, those bags were so hard to get. And now you see them a lot all over social media. And it's like, if they're so hard to get, why is it that we're seeing them everywhere? And sometimes, you know, you get people that have got multiple. And it made me wonder, what with all these videos about Hermes journeys and such like that, has it had an effect on the desirability of those bags because they feel so commonplace? Even in real life, actually, around West London, you see them a lot. And it's made me start to think, are they really that hard to get? And please, if you are a big Hermes customer, please let me know whether they are still hard to get and how you feel about seeing them everywhere. Has it started to make you think, well, maybe they're not that hard to get because I'm seeing them all over the place? The other thing that I'm thinking about is the Chanel Classic Flap, because that's another bag that's really exploded in popularity on social media over the years. And has that had an effect on our perceptions of that bag? Has that bag now become feeling really commonplace? Do you see what I mean? Just a thought. It was just a fleeting thought. I like both brands very much. I'm a complete Chanel addict. I couldn't spend their big money anymore. I'm so grateful for the bags I have and that I bought them years ago when they weren't so expensive. I couldn't pay over 5,000 for any of their stuff now though. It's not that it's not nice, it's just that it's too much, particularly with cost of living and all of that. Anyway, that was that. Let me know what you think. Now the next, not sure how many of you would agree, but to me quite a distinguished bag is the Fendi Peekaboo for 2 reasons. First of all, it is that classic trapeze shape, and I've spoken before about how to buy a safe bag, forget the brand, how to buy a bag from any of these brands and buy something that's long term, and I think shape comes into it. There are certain shapes of bag, like flap bags or trapeze shape, which is like the, you know, the Hermes Kelly, that sort of shape. It's a very classic shape, and I think if you buy something like that, you're pretty much safe for a long time. But with the Fendi bag, it's got that trapeze shape, which is very classic, very long term. But also you can buy them without a big screaming logo on them. There is a logo, but it's on the turn lock that opens and closes the bag. It's really, really minimal, you can't really see it, and I just think the shape of those bags is such a good one to go with. Another massive one that I've never spoken about before, and I've had quite a lot of you actually over the years even saying to me, oh, can you talk about it, can you tell us what you think? And it's Celine. And I've got looking at their stuff recently, and they've got some gorgeous things, but they particularly have lots of very elegant bags that I think are perfect for men and women as well, because I know I have guys who watch and you're into your bags as well, and I feel that a lot of their stuff is very understated but very well made. You can buy things that don't have a big logo on it. This is one of my favourites from there, which I actually met someone years ago who had this bag, and when I looked at it, because they were like, have a look at this bag close up, and when I looked at it, even all the way back then, I was like, wow, that's so well made. And consider Celine if you are thinking about a bag, and at the moment Celine isn't massively shouted about on social media. It is getting there. With the reintroduction of their old logo, I feel that it's picking up pace again. But go and have a look for one of their bags that doesn't have a big logo on it, and I think you'll be quite happy with what you get. And then finally, two other brands of bag that I think are very distinguished. First of all is Hermes, and it's the Kelly. I feel like the Kelly bag has got the edge over the Birkin. I feel the Birkin is more fashion, and I feel the Kelly is more traditional. And despite what I mentioned earlier about exclusivity of those bags, because you see they feel quite commonplace now, I still think that bag is the height of elegance, and it's very distinguished, it's very classy. The other one is from Gucci. Now Gucci, obviously they've got their big canvas logos, and they do have some bags that are quite loud and in your face, but they also have quite a few bags that are actually more laid back. And this is one of them. This is a Gucci horsebit shoulder bag, and I feel that that horsebit feels very old money. It feels very 90s, 80s, maybe 70s, I don't know when it was created, but it's the kind of thing that if you looked at it and you're in the know, you'd know that that bag was Gucci, but it feels very classic. It doesn't have a screaming logo on it, and it's really well made. I really like Gucci bags. Gucci bags are very well made. And again, if you want a bag, don't want a big logo. I really think that avoiding a big logo is the key thing here if you want something that is distinguished. As soon as you put, like, I'll show you this. Don't get me wrong, I love a big logo. Loads of you know that. But something like this like little vanity case, I love this, but is this distinguished and elegant? No, it's fashion, it's cool, it's trend. But to me, that's not kind of elegance there. Whereas something that is plain, simple, very well made, always get black, depending on how you dress. Buy yourself a black bag, it's elegant, it's chic, goes with everything, will last you years, don't have to worry about dye transfer or anything like that. And that, I think, is the secret to buying something elegant and classic. Sorry if I've said elegant and classic a lot through this video, but that's what it's about, which is why I keep saying those words. Anyway, I do really want to know what you think. So particularly the topic of Hermes and the Chanel flat bag, what do you think? Do you think that social media has taken the edge off those, has made them slightly less special, or has it done the opposite to you? Has it made you want them even more? Let me know what you think. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.